Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Toni and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. And as you can see, I have a lot of books, and that's not even all of them. I'll show you. I have a ton on the table over there. I am blessed with this huge, wonderful schoolroom that has doors that can close. This was one of the top selling points of this house when we first saw it. I was like, oh my goodness, a real schoolroom, because we'd always schooled in the basement before. The problem is, this is wonderful to have all these shelves, bookshelves that are built in, but with little kids, I've struggled with how to organize this in a way that they can actually get to the books, because unless they're gonna climb up here and get up high, they don't really read the books that are on the shelves. So it's been a little bit of a struggle. Today I'm going to take on the challenge of reorganizing my bookshelf in a way that hopefully my kids can easily find different things and find the books that they need, and hopefully it'll be aesthetically pleasing too, because I want it to be pretty. I want it to be something that we want to come in here and do school and not too crazy and busy. So I thought I'd take you guys along with me as I reorganize my bookshelf. So I have, from left to right, all these bookshelves right here that are in a glass cabinet. I've got books here all the way down. Then we've got a big mirror in the middle. I kind of wish that was bookshelves too. And then over here, it's the exact same setup. So I've got open bookshelves there, and I've got a glass cabinet there. And then that is our creepy mannequin, Emma, that its wig is on sideways. Then I have all of these books from all over the house. All right, ready? So the first thing we're gonna do is empty the shelves. I'm gonna make piles on the floor, then we'll organize it. Okay, let's go. Pencil shavings everywhere. This is a great pencil sharpener, by the way. X-Acto School Pro. It obviously needs emptied, but it's awesome. So I am going to clean off the shelves before I put new books on, because it's probably been a while since they've been dusted. So that'll be the next step, especially here when we spilled pencil shavings all over the place. Have you seen this book? It's hilarious. The Gas We Pass. It's fun. I have some randomness. Some canvases. Stuff that doesn't belong on the bookshelf. I'm going to try to keep sets together. I'm going to show you something. I have this whole set of these Child's Craft books. 15 of them, plus a couple, like, whatever these first ones are. And I got these years ago, I think at a thrift store for super cheap, like when my 11-year-old was, I don't know, 3 or 4. And I was like, oh, we're gonna use these will be so great one day. They've been to multiple houses, we've moved many times. I don't think they've been used once. I'm gonna get rid of these. They're taking up valuable space. These are empty. Okay, so here's all the books that I just took off the shelf. I have all of these books from around the house that were just everywhere. In bookshelves in the basement, in my girls' rooms. I still have some in my son's room, but I'm not gonna bring the little tiny books in here. But I have all these, and then I have these also. Okay, so those shelves are done. Now I'm going to clear off this spot here, and then we'll start putting books in the order that I want them in. These are actually full of flashcards and games and stuff, but I don't use them. I kind of forget they're in there. So we'll move those. One day, I would love to paint this white, all of this, to match our kitchen, but since we're renovating an inn right now, I don't think that's gonna happen for a while. I have a whole set of these really pretty books, the great classics for children, that I'm actually gonna be taking to our inn, because I need to decorate with, if you haven't seen in some of our other videos, my husband and I bought a run-down, little tiny old farmhouse last year, about 9 months ago, and we have been renovating it to turn it into an inn. It's very close to being finished, but I need books to put throughout the house, and I'm going to use some of our prettier ones, so I'm going to set these aside to take to the inn. And these, every time I'm at the thrift store, I try to keep an eye out for pretty books like these. I would love to have these at our house too, but I'm going to put them at the inn, and if my kids ever want to read them, we can just go take them from the inn. And then this ginormous beast of a dictionary. Before I could get a dictionary that actually made sense for a child to use, this is what we had. And so my sweet little, when she was, I don't know, in first grade and started looking up words in the dictionary, she used this thing, and I've got pictures of her little tiny body trying to read in the dictionary. It was kind of funny. I love this thing though. I think it's super awesome. So the way I had this organized before was, these are all just older kids' books, but they're not in any really rhyme or reason or order. And they're over here where I feel like they might use them more if they're over there. So I'm going to try to put them in order, alphabetical order, genre, maybe genre and alphabetical order. We'll see how long it takes. I think putting it by age order makes sense too. I've got atlases and thesauruses, stuff like that I'll try to keep together and put on one shelf. And then I have a dictionary here. I have a couple of the dictionaries now. It just seems like a shame to have all these books and my kids kind of be like, oh, can we go to the library? I don't have anything to read. And they have not read all these books. I don't know why. It's like with toys. Like once you put them away and then you put them into a new place or something, all of a sudden they're like, oh, I remember this, or I didn't know we had this. And you're like, it's been in the toy box for like the last, 8 years or something, and nobody's touched it. It's just kind of funny. Maybe I should stop buying books. Well, I actually have calmed down. Like, whenever I saw them at the thrift store, I'd be like, oh, I have to buy that. And I really have calmed down over the years. I've stopped buying them and I've given a bunch away. But now I have 3 girls that are really reading, like love to read and are reading lots of books. So. All right. I'm not going to mess with the 2 glass cabinets. This one has like my old yearbooks, my husband's old yearbooks, and some like scrapbooks and stuff like that, photo albums and stuff. I'm not going to mess with those today, so we're just going to work on these open shelves and see what we can get. So I'm just going to put these in order of like Magic Tree House in a set. I've got Chronicles of Narnia, and then maybe classics together. I'm getting there. Doesn't it look nice and organized? Ugh. We're getting there. I do have some sort of, they drop all the books. I do have some sort of method to madness. And I love pretty old books. So I was so excited when I found this, Theater Shoes by Noel Streatfeild, because my favorite movie is You've Got Mail, and she talks about, I think it's dancing shoes, or ballet shoes, which I have somewhere too. Yeah, I've got ballet shoes down here. But I found this old copy of Theater Shoes. I was like, oh, so cool, so pretty. So I love to take the book jackets off. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I think they're so much prettier like this. See, this one's Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, and I just think it's so pretty. I just like it like that. My daughter was majorly, she still loves them, was majorly into Nancy Drew. So, and these can be kind of expensive if you're a cheap book buyer like me, like don't want to pay more than $2. They're usually like $4.50 at thrift stores, so we're always excited when we find those for a good deal. Okay, so I don't know if this is super ingenious or not, but the order that I have chosen is shortest child, next tallest child, next tallest child, which is basically putting them in reading order because they're all 2 years apart. Because I figure obviously I shouldn't put my 7-year-old's books like way up here. So we're gonna try that. So I'm gonna put all the books that my 7-year-old could read in here. My little guy, I'm gonna put his book somewhere else, like lower on the floor. That didn't work. So these are all just little kind of easy readers, and I'm just gonna keep going until I get gradually bigger. Okay? I'm gonna start putting some of the classics on the next shelf up. Actually, we're gonna start with Can't Nancy Drew. I would love to eventually get the whole collection. Like I said, they're kind of expensive. See, ballet shoes and theater shoes. Have you seen the movie You've Got Mail? Are you guys familiar with that too? I haven't read either of these. Well, I actually got this on CD once, so my girls actually listened to the CD, but we have not read it yet. So I need to read that to put down one of these days. I was just excited to have it on my shelf. Okay, I just dropped this whole stack, but my next shelf is going to be biographies. I actually have a ton of biographies, so those are going to go up here. It's not something they grab all the time, but you need to have access to. Well, maybe I don't have a ton, but I have more than I thought I did. I don't know, that's a lot of biographies. I didn't know I had that many. Then I have some of the classics. So I might start putting those here. See this book? Look, here's my thoughts. Here's this book like this. I don't really like the book cover, but look how pretty that is without. So I'm gonna get rid of the book cover and stick that right in the middle. So now I'm gonna put some of the bigger books that I have. This is like the whole Chronicles of Narnia. It's got, I think, a bunch of the books in here. Anyway, that's gonna go up here. Okay, I do have more of these chapter books than I realized, so I'm gonna have to shift everything up. So I've got all these Chronicles of Narnia books, but I'm going to scoot that down because these are a little bit easier reads, and I want to make sure that they can access those 2, 3. So see, this one, the Chronicles of Narnia book 2, I have a pretty one of, and I already have one of these paper ones. So I'm going to keep this for our house. I'm going to take this to the end because it's one of those prettier books. Okay, so here is the finished product of the chapter books. I think they look nice. So I've got down here all the readers for my younger girl, all the chapter books for my younger girl, and I tried to put them together if there was multiples of anything, like there's the littles there. And these are all the Magic Treehouse books, which I did put in order. These are all American Girl books. Then you come up here, and I've got a bunch of Boxcar Children books. More Boxcar Children. I didn't really keep it in genre. I kind of just did it in age order. These are kind of, I don't know, just books that they would read for fun. I've got some Little House on the Prairie. These are all Roald Dahl, Judy Blume, Beverly Cleary. So I put all those together. And then up here, I've got all the Narnia books in order. Then I have all the Nancy Drew books in order. I've got all these classics here that we have, classics there. And at the top, I've got all of these are biographies. And then we start with some classics or just older books that they won't be reading for a little while. So I was okay with those being on the top shelf. So I think that looks pretty nice. Okay, so it is day 2. I was not able to finish everything last night. So as you can see, I changed my outfit. So I changed Emma's too because I haven't changed her in a while. So I put her in one of my old favorite t-shirts that doesn't fit me anymore. The bookshelves are done. Are you guys ready for the big reveal? Hopefully we like it. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So I have all of these bookshelves done and in order. I have all of these bookshelves done. And I actually still have space. Do you see that right there and right there, which I was kind of shocked. So one thing I decided to do last night, this bookshelf here used to be right there. And I only had this couch. It's off center, which is kind of annoying right now. But I really was tired of that bookshelf taking up floor space. So I thought I'd try something possibly crazy and put it up here. And I can't decide if I love it or hate it. My girls said it looks nice. So, and like I said before, I felt like that mirror was kind of a waste. It was kind of a waste of space. And I was saying I was wishing that bookshelves were there, so I thought, well, why don't I just put this bookshelf here? So I've got some of my old cool books there. I've got some Bible books there. I actually got rid of the inbox that I had for our school books, so this is all the school books that need graded. And then I've just got some little books for my little guy, some books here. These are all those like leveled readers, like I can read books, you know. So I've got all those there. This is some like field guides and some other random like help books, and there's a couple history books in there. And then I put all my pretty books up here that I just liked, and I wanted them on display. And then I've got a couple things. I actually bought that for the inn, but I wanted to put it here in our globe. And then I've got our date there. So this didn't change much since I showed you last night. We've got biographies and older chapter books up there that'll probably be a little while before they read some of those. And then we've got like Nancy Drew and mysteries and things like that down here. Those are some more chapter books. They're just by level, by reading level. And then down here, it's the same thing. I have some young, like Dr. Seuss books and things like that. I did decide to put some of these in here instead of putting all of them in my son's room because I figured he should have some in the schoolroom too. These are kind of just extra chapter books that didn't fit on the other side, and I've got a couple sets, Amelia Bedelia and Miss Pigglewiggle, and then the Left Behind for Kids books. And then this is like a science shelf. Those are all animal books there. And then these are all science or I've got some of these like If You Lived, like history books. And then the rest of these I think are all science, either science, weather, things like that. And then up top I just have some reference books. I didn't really want them up top, but I didn't want to waste the space down below, so I figured I can always grab them for the kids when they need them. So that's that bookshelf that Emma is guarding. And I feel like it turned out nice. We've got our table here by the window and this nice like seating area. It's over here because we usually have this door open, so I couldn't put it all the way. I gotta make sure the door can open. So that's kind of our setup. But it's a nice little reading spot, and I brought this little box up here that I thought was a nice little coffee table type of thing, footrest, that was in the basement, not being used. Okay guys, that is my video for the day. I hope you enjoyed watching me reorganize my bookshelves. Let me know if you think this thing here is a good idea or not. I'm still kind of up in the air, but Anyway, it's practical and it works, and I don't think it looks super terrible. But let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and if you have not yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you are notified every single time one of my new videos comes out, which is every week. So I will see you next week. Thanks for watching.